Hello everyone, Spec here back in with our Marvel content champ video. Today we got another champion concept, this one being Whiplash. And I am very excited. I feel really strongly about this concept. And I've been feeling that way about a lot of my content. I feel like I really got a good grasp on how to make champions. I think that's pretty cool. I'm enjoying the process a lot more. And as always, these are purely fan-made and are not official, leaked, real, etc. And this was just for fun, because I really enjoy doing this. And goals for the champion. So I wanted Whiplash to be a full Onslaught counter. I know we got Galore now, who's kind of like that champion, but I had this concept made before I knew, back like last month before we got Galore. So yeah, there might be a little overlap here. Don't really exactly know how Galore works. Haven't been able to get my hands on him, so I don't know. Also, so he is going to be a damage over time champion. He's going to have some non-contact hits, and I want him to be a dual threat. Alright, so Whiplash. Of course, he is a tech champion. He's a villain, size medium, and metal. So, always active. Whiplash cannot have his ability accuracy reduced by mutant champions. This, again, allows him to counter Onslaught, and this also allows him to counter Domino as a nice little good side effect. But it was mainly in play for Onslaught. Also, Whiplash's armor provides him a resistance to plasma shock and neuroshock effects based on armor rating. So he can take the same amount of damage from neuroshock as any other champion, but he will be able to keep stacking up armors and armors and armors, and eventually you can get to a point where you are reducing neuroshock by almost all of it. So he is a good counter there. Still don't want to push Onslaught to that special 2 and get hit with all those Degens though. He does not reduce degeneration damage, so there is some counterplay where Onslaught could still get the better of him. But for the most part, as long as you're good with evading that special 2 or you're just getting special 1s down, Whiplash will do totally fine. Also, for Whiplash, personal damage over time effect potency increases with armor rating instead of attack rating. So similar to Lady Deathstrike, I thought it was really cool how she scales, especially with stat focus. I think that's pretty cool and very unique, so I want to give that to Whiplash. Also, Whiplash starts each fight with an armor up passive. Armor breaks do not remove armor up effects. They do not reduce armor rating either. Instead, each armor break reduces Whiplash's ability accuracy by -X%. So this does not work against mutant champions. So, but any other class, they will be reducing his ability accuracy with armor breaks, not his armor rating. And yeah, medium attacks. So this is, we're going to start really getting into the flow of how he works. So medium attacks. For each armor up or fury effect on Whiplash, inflict a shock debuff on the opponent dealing X damage over X seconds. If the opponent is a mutant champion, then shocks become degeneration debuffs instead. So this, once again, allows him to counter Onslaught because Onslaught is really resistant to shock, but he's not resistant to degeneration. And this also provides a nice little side effect where he is going to be very good against Bishop as well. Light attacks. Whiplash's light attacks are non-contact hits and reduce evadability accuracy by 25% for each shock or degeneration debuff on the opponent. This is a little nice bit of utility I gave him. I thought it'd be pretty cool, and does require a bit of build-up, so it's not just like that. And yeah, basically with Whiplash, you just want to be stacking up as many armor up as possible to get the most amount of degeneration or shocks. The heavy attack. So while charging a heavy attack, gain 1 polarity charge for 0.5 seconds. For each polarity charge on Whiplash, it removes the amount of paralysis and regeneration effects on the opponent. So this is just, base, mutant, mutant counters, remove paralysis and regeneration. So I thought it'd be cool to give him that. When struck, Whiplash has an extra chance to gain armor up buff for X seconds. If the opponent has a paralysis effect on them, the chance to gain an armor up buff is increased to 100%. And when struck by a champion with 5 or more buffs on them at once, Whiplash loses an armor up buff and takes a burst of physical damage. So yeah, he could be countered by cosmic champions with high buffs, and you will see that will come into play with the special one. Whiplash, so for the animation, Whiplash strikes the opponent with his whips and then spins around like a Beyblade, continuously lashing the opponent. Whiplash converts all shock and degeneration debuffs on the opponent into armor up buffs. So this is really how you're getting your armor up buffs. You just want to stack on as many shock or degens as possible, and then launch this, and then launch special 1, and then you'll get more armor ups, which allow you to place more and more shock and degenerations, allowing you to really just create a cycle of just medium, medium, or medium, light, medium into the special 1, and you keep doing that over and over and over again. But we'll get into the other specials, and you'll see other ways to play them. Also, Whiplash, this is for defense. Whiplash also gains an auto block passive for X seconds. This has a 100% chance to trigger an auto block. If the opponent is auto blocked, they are afflicted with a passive stun for X seconds. Champions with 5 or more buffs on them cannot be auto blocked. So once again, you're looking at more cosmic champions that can have a lot of buffs, or Odin pre-fights could really help if you're fighting a Whiplash. So yeah, very annoying, but there are a lot of options to counter this annoying ability. Anyway, the special 2. Whiplash uses his whips to grapple around his opponent and reel them in for a devastating headbutt. He then crackles his whips and generates a field around him. So Whiplash powers up his suit, gaining an arc deflection passive for 1 second, plus 1 second for each armor up effect on Whiplash. So you could go for, to really extend this, you could go for, a couple special 1s and then a special 2. So you could get, I don't even know how many armor ups you could generate with this guy at once, but you could probably get a nice 15-second arc deflection passive. And this also is really good against Onslaught as well, because while in arc deflection, Whiplash deals back X% of any non-contact hit back at his opponent as direct damage, and also those attacks suffer minus 100% ability accuracy. So if you're looking at the special 2 or the special 1, he won't be applying any neuroshocks or degens or stuff like that, and instead you'll be dealing damage back to him. So that could be very useful as well. The special 3. So Whiplash constricts his whips around you and starts cranking up the power till it overloads and causes a bright explosion. So I think that's a really cool animation for the special 3. And Whiplash converts all armor up buffs into Fury passives for X seconds, increasing attack rating by plus X, and gains a Short Circuit passive for X seconds. While Short Circuit is active, Whiplash's combat power rate is increased by X%, and any armor up buffs that would be gained are converted into Fury passives, increasing attack rating by plus X for X seconds. So this is your damage. If you don't need the utility of the special 2, you could really just go for a couple special 1s and then go for the special 3, and then there you just continuously launch more and more special 1s, so you get more and more Furies to ramp up your damage more and more with the amount of shocks or degens you can place on the opponent. Also, the potency increases with armors, but you'll notice that in this phase your basic attacks are hitting for a lot more damage, which that's going to be the more key, that's the key to the special 3 route rather than the armor route. Alright, so finally, the Awakened ability, Reverse Engineered. Whiplash gains an armor up buff every X to X seconds. So that is, increases with the SIG level. That could be really useful for a quicker ramp, or it could be much more annoying on defense depending on your SIG level. And additionally, when the opponent's ability fails to trigger or a prowess or regen effect is removed, inflict them with a shock debuff dealing X damage over X seconds. If the opponent is a mutant champion, then inflict them with a degeneration debuff instead. So this also allows for a much quicker ramp against more specific fights though, but still against certain fights you could really ramp up your damage and get a faster ramp up much more quicker with the Awakened ability. But yeah, that is Whiplash. I think he comes together really well. I'm very happy with the champion. Yeah, this is definitely one I'm feeling strongly about, where this is the one where I feel like this could be in the game. I feel that strongly with Whiplash more than in other concepts. So yeah, that's Whiplash. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If there's any other champions you want me to create buffs for, or new champion additions, concepts, let me know in the comments. And goodbye.